Good morning. Welcome to Pepperdine's Chapel. This is where I am for the week, and so I wanted to take a minute to do this video to introduce myself to you, welcome you to class as we explore the Synoptic Gospels together over the next 6 weeks. This is an abbreviated course time, so instead of the normal 8 weeks, we're doing all of this in 6 weeks, which means it's going to be a little bit intense, but I'm going to try to make it as transformative and delightful and just awesome as possible. This is a pretty small class, so I'm hopeful that we'll get to know each other well, and that'll be an added benefit to this exciting summer journey we get to go on together. But it's good to meet you. My name is Tiffany Dahlman, and you can call me Professor Dahlman, or you can call me Tiffany. It's fine either way. I will be guiding you through the Synoptic Gospels, which are Matthew, Mark, and Luke. A little secret, John is my favorite, but we're not going to talk about John much at all, if at all. This summer we're going to talk about Matthew, Mark, and Luke. You should have a course guide in the online classroom. If you want to pull that up, we're going to go through the course guide, which is kind of like a syllabus, so you know what to expect, you know when things are due, you know where we're going to go, and there's no confusion. So as you're pulling that up, a little bit about me. I live in North Carolina, not Malibu, but I do live on the other coast, and I live there, my husband and my 4 children. I went to York for my undergraduate work, and I got an English degree there and a religious studies degree. I have an MDiv from Asbury Theological Seminary, and I'm working on my doctorate now at Abilene Christian University in Texas. So you hear a lot of Church of Christ in there. I was born and raised Church of Christ, but if you are not, that is okay. If you are not a Christian, that is okay. I understand that this is probably a required Bible credit for you, and that's a good thing. I know it might not feel like a good thing in summer to take this class, but it is a good thing. The Bible is the #1 best-selling book in all the world. So with or without faith, it's quality literature. And as a Christian, I believe that there's a power within it to delight, to help you see the mystical, to help you see the spiritual, to help you see the other in your world as you're going through your world. And there's wisdom in that that'll guide your steps as you have to make difficult decisions in life. There is a joy in it that sustains, and there's a peace. There's a peace, my friends, that's available. And I hope you experience that as we go through Matthew, Mark, and Luke together this summer. So let's go over to the course guide. Scroll down to... Oh, I don't want to make you dizzy. This music stand is wobbling. My York email is there. That is the best way to reach me, is email. If that does not work for some reason, you can call me. I will get back to you right away. I don't have office hours because I'm not on campus, obviously. You have your 2 required textbooks. You are going to need those. We're going to be in those thoroughly and deeply, so make sure that you have both of those textbooks. The N.T. Wright book, The Original Jesus, it is short and sweet. You could probably read that in a day. I read it in a couple of hours. We're going to go over the historical setting of the ministry of Jesus. So what was going on in the first century in that world and Greco-Roman culture. We're going to go over the historical setting of Matthew and Mark and Luke. We're going to talk about the differences among Matthew, Mark, and Luke. Though they are synoptic, which means, they're similar, they're pulled from each other. They're not the same, and they have a different purpose, they have a different occasion, and then we're going to talk about why all this matters. How does this even apply to my life? How does this apply to the church? We will get there. There's a point related to your personal spirituality and the spirituality and health of the church in which you are a member. So here's our calendar. First week, I'm so sorry, this schedule, we have to hit the ground running because it's only 6 weeks. So this first week is pretty heavy. It's going to be all of that background information. So I need you to listen to another lecture. Another lecture on the historical stuff. And I'm going to go over the synoptic problem. You'll know what that is after you watch the lecture. The synoptic background, we'll go over all of that in that other lecture, but I also need you to read the book. So chapter 1 and chapter 2. And it's not that much. It really isn't. From that, after you have read, or at least thoroughly looked over, go to the online classroom, find the week, and find the discussion. And there's going to be a discussion question every week. So you'll read what question I post, and then by Thursday noon of every week, I'm not going to change it up on you, it's going to be the same every week. Thursday noon, you need to have your initial posting in, where you answer that question. And it needs to be collegiate, because you are college students, it needs to be collegiate. So not just a line or two. Give me a good hefty paragraph that is deep. Don't put a lot of filler in there. I'm going to see right through it. Have it be deep. Have it be bulky with solid information, and do reference something. Either your textbook or the lecture, write, page 52, or Professor Dahlman lecture. That's sufficient. We don't have to get all MLA and Turabian in our post, but do reference your materials in the post. Then by Saturday at midnight, respond to at least one of your peers, your classmates' posts, please. And also that should be collegial, not a thumbs up. Thank God there's no emojis in there. Give them an edifying. It can be constructive. You can disagree. Absolutely. That's when it gets fun in online classrooms. But be respectful, be edifying, be courteous. But let's get into some engagement here with the Synoptic Gospels. Moving on, we're going to start with the Gospel of Mark. The pages to read are there. Then we'll move into the Gospel of Matthew. The pages to read are there. Same format. I think I skipped a quiz. Yeah, you will have a quiz on that historical information from chapters 1 and 2 out of the textbook and the lecture that goes with it. That quiz is going to be open in the online classroom between July 12th and July 15th. So you can go in any time it's convenient for you. Make sure you will be uninterrupted. Make sure no one's going to walk in the room. Make sure that you're not going to get a phone call. Make sure you've got an hour. I'll probably put it up for an hour of time to take that quiz. Moving through, we'll go to Matthew, then we'll go to Luke, July 30th. Then we're going to talk about N.T. Wright's book, Tom Wright's book, The Original Jesus. And I'm going to need you to read that. And we're going to talk about Jesus at the end of that. But you will have a quiz over Matthew, Mark, and Luke. And that quiz will be open. You see it's highlighted in red on your course guide. It's open July 26th through July 29th. And then your final paper, August 6th, that week of August 6th, you're going to work on that. And it's mostly a reflective paper. You're not going to have to use the library and do a whole bunch of research. It's mostly reflective, but it is going to pull from the readings and the lectures. And that is due August 10th at midnight, because class is over August 11th and I got to turn in your grades. So August 10th at midnight is when that final paper is due. You also have a reading log that you're going to turn in to let me know that you actually read the work. That is part of your grade as well. So how are these things assessed? Going through the course guide outcome assessment, you all can read through that. You can read number 2, you can read number 3. Your grading scale is the normal grading scale, 90 to 100 is an A. Let's look where it says assignment details and addendums. That reading log is 25% of your grade, and it is attached to the end of this course guide. So just fill it out. You tell me the pages you read, initial it. It is an honor system. Be honest, and whatever percentage of the reading you read is your grade for that, for the reading log. It also includes the lectures. The video lectures, by the way. Online discussion, that's your answering my question in the online classroom and your responses. That is 25% of your grade. It says on there that online discussion is expected to be rich in content, short on filler, respectful at all times, honoring the image of God in all people, even when we disagree. You will have quizzes. They're highlighted in red in the course guide. They are 20% of your grade. It tells you when they're due. And you know what? This is an online class. So I'm not even going to go there saying it's got to be closed book. They're open book, but closed Google. Got it? Open book, closed Google, closed friend. Don't use that lifeline. But you can use your textbook and you can use your notes when you do that. I want you to actually know it and learn it, right? So you may do that, but they're timed. So you only have a certain amount of time. If you're not familiar with the material, if you have not read the book, you will not finish those quizzes on time. You're just going to run out of time. You will not have time to look up everything. So be prepared, but you can reference your textbook if you get stuck. And then you have your final paper, which is 30% of your grade. And that final paper, the topic is the effect of the life of Jesus on my spirituality as he's portrayed in the Synoptic Gospels. And I'm going to give you more information about that later on this summer. I'll do a separate post probably just on information for that. But really everything you needed to know is right there in the course guide. There is also, I even gave you an example outline for that to help you through it. I'm not trying to trip you up. I'm not trying to make it difficult. My desire for you in this class is to meet Jesus. Period. To meet Jesus and be transformed by Jesus through the books of Matthew, Mark, and Luke. That is the goal. So I'm not here to trip you up. I'm here to help. Give me a call, email me. There is even extra credit at the end in case you need it. For 100 points, you can either read another book that's in the suggested reading at the end of the course guide. It's not required, but pick one off of that and do a précis, kind of like a book report. Or, and there's details for that there are expectations. Or you can do a prayer anthology where you write 20 prayers that are inspired by the Synoptic Gospels, by parables you read in there, stories you read in there, or maybe a verse stands out to you, or a character who you meet. Maybe blind Bartimaeus just really touches you, and you write a prayer derived from that story. And I have an example of one there. If you do either of those, then you can earn 20 points extra credit. Not 20, what am I saying? 100. I'm going to give you 100 points extra credit. Closing up my windows here. 100 points extra credit at the end to help you out. I want you to succeed. I want you to have some fun. I want you to learn something new. And I want you to meet Jesus. Spiritual formation and coming into the presence of God is a big deal to me. And it's my prayer that that happens for each one of you. So I'm going to take a minute and pray over you and get to reading, get to working, get to praying, get to ruminating. And I'm here for you, and we're going to hit the ground running. So go to the online classroom, read the question, answer the question by Thursday at noon, and then respond to one of your classmates by Saturday. Okay? May the Lord bless you and keep you. May his face shine upon you. May he be gracious to you. May the Lord lift his face to you and give you peace. I'm so excited to work with you this summer. And have a great day. Talk to you all soon.